Welcome to BodyBags. I'm your Friday reviewer, Chris, from Chris B Movies. You know my name is Chris. You know I love B movies. And this is Theme Week, and this is a Japanese ghost story. We've seen a lot of them. We've seen the Ju-ons of the world. We've seen Ringu, which are true classics in the ghostly Japanese settings and ghostly Japanese films. They're more scarier than the American versions, and a lot of times us Americans, we've kind of copied for them and tried to remake their films. Not as good though. I do like The Ring, and I think Ring and Ringu are equals to me. I don't like one over the other. I like them both the same, which could be blasphemy for people who are big into the Japanese horror. I think that Ringu is 1,000 times better than The Ring, but that's my personal opinion. I do think Ju-on, the Japanese version of The Grudge, is 1,000 times better than the Americanized version. Albeit, many others where the Japanese version is primarily the best of the bunch. I decided to go a different route and do animated short films from the YouTube channel, Animated Horror Flicks, which has really a lot of animated Japanese horror flicks that are based on urban legends, the Japanese urban legends. So this film, a horror short film, is called The Haunted Apartment. And it's about the Jikobuken urban legend, which means that people will sell you an apartment or a house for a very low price because, in the Jikobuken sense, something bad happened to the people that lived before, whether they were murdered, had a horrible death, died, dropped dead from natural causes, died in their sleep. Bad things have happened in there, but basically, people were either murdered in there or died of really overdose on drugs and died. And so what happens in the Jikobuken is they sell these places for a very low price, but they have to tell you that somebody died in this house and how they died, basically. That's kind of a rule of thumb. It's the right thing to do, plus. So, the ghost story tells the chilling paranormal events at a haunted apartment in Japan, which turns out to be a stigmatized, also known as Jikobuken, and I already explained that. Which is, a term that describes haunted houses and haunted apartments in Japan because something happened to the previous owners. And we have this college kid, who's just trying to find a really cheap place, still going to college and all, and he happened to find this really cheap place. And unbeknownst to him, nobody really told him what went on beforehand. And he sees ghostly visions of this girl, and it gets to the point where it absolutely gets the best of him, and he is like, I think I'm going to move on and go to a little more expensive place. But that's basically what this story is about, the Jikobuken urban legend, which, even happens in the States a lot of times. People, will sell you something real cheap. Oh, it's a beautiful house, everything's beautiful, but they won't tell you the underlying story of why it's so cheap, and that's really important. That should be a law, by the way. But anyways, check out Animated Horror Flicks, and they have tons of great Japanese animated short horror films, and it's a great YouTube channel, so definitely check them out. I'm gonna give it a 5-1 short film, right? Instead of 10-1, we'll give it 5-1. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. I give it a solid 4. Nothing overly scary, but when he sees the ghost, it just kind of happens, and you almost feel like you're in his position, so that makes it pretty scary, I would say. But great animation and just a great story told, and they have a narrator narrating the whole story from the first person. So anyway, check out Animated Horror Flicks and check out The Haunted Apartment. And tune in to Saturday and Sunday, more great Japanese ghost story reviews. So yeah, check them out. 2 heavy hitters coming up. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to BodyBags, and of course, Chris B Movies. Like if you like, and if you haven't seen any of these shorts, just let me know what you think about it. Alright guys, definitely don't forget to check out the late night horror movies. Read up on your latest Fright Mags. Don't forget to tune in to another episode of the show we call BodyBags, where I have an apartment to sell to you.